Hi, welcome to Chad's Silversmithing. First off, thank you for visiting my channel and watching this video. If you'd hit the like button before you leave, that helps me out a great deal. I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you get notifications when there's updates. I'm putting out 2 to 3 videos a week, so I think there's a lot of good content here. That being said, today's topic is going to be how to make yourself a texture plate for use with a rolling mill. I found that the very few little store-bought texture plates that I have don't always meet the needs of styles that I want to make, so I decided to start making my own. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. Okay. To start with, I was going to show you some of the various remnants of my texture plates that I've had over the years and pretty much used to the point where they're almost unusable. You can buy these from various places. They make steel ones that cost, I don't know, 50 or 60 bucks a piece, which is a little out of my price range right now. But sometimes you can find these brass ones, which last for a while before they wear out, for much cheaper. So you might check Etsy. I've seen them on. I used to get them from a place in Denver that is no longer in business. So, however, it's not too hard to make your own. There's a couple that I made in the past. Now I used some copper sheet because that's just what I had laying around with some silver wire, and I just soldered a few of these different designs on, and these are both pretty much worn out. They're no longer have any shape to them. I thought I would do this new one. I want to make one similar to this with lots of just different sizes and thicknesses of little rods. So that I have a usable one of these again. This one's pretty much flattened out because I used copper. So this time I'm going to use brass. I got some brass sheet here, and I got some 18 gauge brass wire, and I pulled some of the brass wire through a draw plate. If you want to find out how to use a draw plate, hope I'm pointing to the right place. I never point at the right one. I'll put a link to a video I did on using a draw plate. But I pulled some of this 18 gauge down to some 20 gauge, so I have some variety of little pieces on here. In order to get going on this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some pieces out of this, straighten them out, and then cut some pieces out of this, straighten them out, cut them to various lengths. I am going to pre-melt some solder or sweat some solder onto these guys before I set them on the plate here in various positions, and then heat the whole thing until they stick down with the solder that's already on the wires. It's called sweat soldering. And then we'll let it clean up for a while, and we'll put some scrap pieces of 18 that I was able to cut down into some nice shapes for some earrings, and we'll put the pattern on these earrings here. So let's get going on this. The reason I'm using brass this time is brass is a bit harder than copper since it's got some zinc and some tin in it. Okay, now I'm going to spend a little time filing the ends of these all pretty flat. I'll probably cut some of this out so you don't have to watch me do all of these. Now I'm going to spend a little time trying to straighten these out. You can tell it's straight if it rolls like a little log. I realized I had a fan on behind me, and so the beginning of this video, if the sound is a little messed up, it's because I'm trying to run it through too many filters to get rid of that fan. I'll redo the intro and conclusion. So I have a mixture of the 20 gauge ones and 18 gauge ones here. Okay. Cut a bunch of. I'm just going to use hard silver solder. Use whatever kind of solder you use. Should work okay for this probably. What I'm going to do here is sweat solder a little bit of solder onto each of these, so that when I put them on the plate in a minute, I can just heat the entire plate till that solder reflows and sticks them down. So that should make it pretty easy to get things where I want them to go. Some of the bigger ones I might put 2 on. Well, I think I got them all. Guess we'll find out. Like I said, this is just 26 gauge sheet. Brass, of course. Let's get this thing a little flexed up. Okay, once I kind of get that flux to calm down a bit, start throwing these on here. That's a relatively random kind of pattern, so I'm going to go ahead and heat this whole thing and try to get those guys to stick down now. Something this big, it may take a little bit of heating to get it to work. One of the things that I was doing there is I realized one of these little pieces here wasn't straight, and so I pulled it off of there because I didn't want a crooked looking one. They're all supposed to be straight. So I think I got them all attached there. Maybe a little hard to get this detached from the pad. It's pretty warm here. But I'm going to let that clean up and see how it comes out after a bit. So I'm going to let that pickle for a while to clean up, and then we'll roll it through with some earrings and see what happens. Okay, so this is the plate after it pickled for a while. It's still got a little bit stained. I pulled it out probably a little bit early, just so I could get on with the video here, but I might throw it in the pickle a little bit later. This is the rolling mill, and I'm gonna, like I said, I've got a couple of pieces of 18 gauge here. I'm gonna line up on different parts of this and see how they end up coming out looking. So maybe start like right here. I've already adjusted this to be a pretty good width on this rolling mill. Hopefully, anyway, we'll see. So I'm just going to roll it through here. Oh, maybe I didn't. Let's try that again. Got a few little marks there, and then you can turn it a different direction and run it through again. Got some pretty random ones on this one. I might need to go, I'm going to try and get a line going up that way. And maybe something going a little this way on that one. Okay, so you can see I can get some interesting patterns doing that kind of way. Keep in mind these ones won't last forever. They get compressed after a while, and then they'll stop producing as cool patterns. You can make them with circles on them. You could make them with little, probably discs of flat sheet, or all sorts of kind of creative ideas you could do with that. So I will probably finish these and throw them on the end of the video, just so you can see what the finished product looks like. I will have to clean up the edges again with a file before I do all this stuff. So, but yeah, that's how you do some texture plating. That was the texture plate video. Thanks for visiting my channel and watching this video. Make sure to hit the like button before you leave today, and take a little time and watch some of my other videos. I think there's a lot of good content here that you might like, and if you do, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel. It's growing pretty well, and I'm putting out lots of videos, and I think there's some useful content here. So thanks for visiting, and take care, and happy silversmithing.